Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with another episode of This Week in Kyrix. We're starting a new year, and this is for the week of Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. And it's being recorded Monday, January 4th, 2021. And if my audio sounds different, and it probably does, I am recording this via my new headset. I have recently gone to Five Below and bought 3 PS4 headsets. Well, not PS4, just generic. One for the PS4 itself, one that is solely for the computer, and one for Robert for when I go to his house to record. Basically, it lives over at his house, and he's like, oh, that's a good idea, because I used to have a bunch of little one-ear headsets, and he kept having to wipe cat hair off of it, so this way it just lives at his house full time, and it's his, and I don't have to worry about bringing it or getting it mixed up with the others. As you can see, I am playing Mount and Blade Warband, and I am doing it in a very particular way, and I've already noticed some huge turnaround from my previous runs at this game, simply because I am pre-recording now, so I don't have the pressure to perform, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't have to go out there and like, oh, I've got to make this really cool, I gotta make this interesting, I gotta move now. No, I can just chill out. I think I'm like 12 recordings in, so I'm literally set until like March. Actually, I'm gonna look up the thing real quick. But yeah, I'm solidly set on my recordings right now. I am good until, yeah, March 24th, so 2 more recordings and the first 3 months are done. Well, 1 more recording and then I'm into April. So yeah, that just shows you, and I don't have to lose track. It's like, okay, I've got an hour to kill, or 45 minutes, whatever, so let me play some Mount and Blade, and I will, like, I'll put a DVD on, or I'll listen to an audiobook, or I'll listen to some YouTube. YouTube's tricky because, you know, I go through cycles where I listen to Let's Plays, or I'll listen to, you know, blind reactions to stuff, or maybe I'll listen to a podcast or something. And right now, YouTube, due to my latest thing, is just, hey, here's VTubers. Well, the problem is, the majority of the VTubers are in Japanese, which means I have to look at the screen for subtitles, so can't watch that. But yeah, it's a good way to kill some time. You will actually see, a couple times you will see me get taken down in this game. Like, I will, especially in these first 3 episodes or so, you will see me get knocked out several times, and then I just recover and immediately hit the guys who knocked me out. And I almost considered the first time I went down just restarting the whole thing from scratch, because there's no commentary to save anymore. I can do that. I can literally edit out my mistakes like that, if it happens early enough. And I decided, fuck it, I'll just keep it going. You know, I don't have to be perfect. This isn't a Let's Play. So, you'll see that happen. I've gone a different route because I had an epiphany while I was playing. And it turns out this was a really good epiphany to have. In previous runs, my first task was always take out the Nords. The Nords were the first people I ever go after, because they're the only unit in the game, the only army in the game that has no mounted units. And they can get some, don't get me wrong. Like, they can have some Kurgat guys, some, you know, Rodok guys, etc. They can get... Actually, the Rodoks don't have mounts either, I don't think. Maybe they do, I don't know. But they're a strong contender of just their strongest guys are infantry, as opposed to the Rodoks, which have those ferocious siege crossbows. And their terrain kind of sucks a dong, you know what I mean? Whereas the Nords have a reasonably flat terrain. Well, the problem is that, yes, the Nords have no cavalry, so taking them in the field is child's play. The problem is, nobody is on horseback when you siege a castle. And, well, sieging the castle is kind of an important thing, and it's kind of where the Nords excel, for lack of a better word. So, taking on the Nords with a bunch of horsemen, not the smartest move I could possibly have. You know what I mean? And the problem with them having the best infantry is, as I found out in other playthroughs, the longer you're at war with a nation, the more often its people will just have morale breaks and desert. They're like, I don't want to fight my people, I'm going to leave the army. And when you're talking top tier, like tier 5 fucking units that you've sunk a lot of time and money into, you don't want that walking out on you. It's just not good. So I came up with a strategy. I'm like, instead of going after the Nords, I'm going to hit the Kyrgyz. Because yes, the Kyrgyz have these absolutely devastating cavalry units, because everything except for their base fodder unit is a cavalry unit. Like, they're going to have, from the very first promotion to the very last, they're on horseback. Oh, and by the way, when I say fodder unit, I have arranged these. They are fodder, light infantry, heavy infantry, archers, crossbowmen, mounted archers, light cavalry, heavy cavalry, and capturers. Capturers being pretty much the manhunter/slaver units, where I know these guys only have blunt weapons and they're going to bring me people. But they're also, a lot of them are also like heavy cavalry. Fodder is basically any bandits and any recruits. Light infantry are people with light armor. Heavy infantry have the heavy armor. Light cavalry is light armor and unarmored horses, whereas heavy cavalry is either heavy armor or cavalry with horses, or the horses with armor. Mounted archers are exclusively Kyrgyz, I believe. Crossbowmen and archers speak for themselves, basically. If they're on foot and they have a bow or a crossbow, that overrides everything else. But, yeah, I decided, hey, I'll take the Kyrgyz, because that gives me a kingdom to establish a foothold in. And, well, yeah, meeting them in the field is going to suck a dong. As soon as they try and take my castle, they're on foot. And as I've discovered, through what may be a glitch, the Kyrgyz are not meant to fight on foot. Because what happens is I took... And this will come in later, so I'm going to spoil it now. I think it's Ulan Castle or something. It's at the very outskirts of Kyrgyz territory next to the Saranids and the Swadians. It's basically at that triangle point. And it has a city named after it, like Ulan or something like that. And they keep raiding that village, and when I go in and intercept them, while they're still in range of the village, they don't have horses, but I do. And I don't know why that is. But when you have Kyrgyz lancers and you meet them on the field of battle, they can unhorse a guy in a single hit. I know, because I fight almost exclusively on horseback with lances. And one mounted guy can sweep through an army by himself. I've done it before. As a matter of fact, I do it with alarming frequency. And you'll see me do that later on in here, where I'll just completely nuke an army by myself, or I'll take out like 80 guys and then call in the rest of my forces to sweep up. It's just how I fight. And it's something I hesitated to do a lot in the original TWiK playthroughs, but this time with the pre-record I do it all the time. Another thing you'll see me do sometimes, and sometimes it's because the terrain doesn't favor me, or I'm trying to do something else, like I'm trying to set up something on my phone, or maybe I just don't want to. I'll just sit back and let my army fight for me, because they can. But yeah, when I rescue at least that town, if not all the towns, the Kyrgyz raiding my villages have no horses, but I don't have that problem. So I'm sitting here with fucking slaver chiefs and knights and mercenary cavalry and all this shit, just going on horseback, nuking these assholes. And yeah, they'll get a couple hits, and they'll kill the farmers. They might get a couple of my guys. But I'll take on like 300 guys with 30. You know, and so my strategy's working. The only problem is, the Kyrgyz will not let up long enough for me to train other units. So I'm basically in a stalemate at the moment, where I'm trying to build up other units to basically leave behind in the castle, so that I can, again, build up. But once that happens, we'll be great. One moment. Bleh. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Not a lot has gone on since this year in Kyrix. Basically, still unemployed. Haven't really done much. Waiting for unemployment to give me some kind of answer. Whether it be, hey, you're approved, hey, you need to do this, etc. I'm waiting till Thursday to put in applications right now, because I want to make sure my schedule's clear for Thursday, because Robert and I are going to do our Shark Day. He was off yesterday, and we couldn't do Shark Day then, because the living room was taken. So I went to his house, and we basically just played Death Road to Canada, and I gave him the option. I'm like, we can just play video games, or we can record it. I'm good either way, and he wanted to record it, so we've got 2.5 episodes of Death Road. 2.5 runs, I should say. The other one will be finished next time we see each other not watching shark movies. But he had a lot of fun with it. It's a weird-ass game. Couple interesting things happen. So, look forward to that. I have been, other than that, just, playing Star Trek Online. Got my stimulus, my 600 anyway. Got a couple things online that I wanted. Got some stuff from Five Below I wanted. Without meaning to, I finished off my Star Wars sequel collection, because I already owned, from my time at Walmart, Rise of Skywalker. I had the special super ultra mega, kittens with hats edition kind of thing, where it just has all the stuff and it's got a really cool box and all that fun shit. One moment. Talking to the roommate. Yeah, we're in the midst of having no internet, which is one of the reasons I'm doing this, much less so early. But I got that when I was working at Walmart, so I have that. And while I was at Five Below, because I wanted to get one of those little battery sticks, that you just plug a USB into. You can charge your phone, charge your headphones, charge a controller, shit like that kind of thing. I wanted one, and I know they sell them there sometimes, so I went to Five Below to get it. And while I was there, I saw these headphones for $5, and I don't need anything super ultra mega top of the line. I just want something I can listen to music to, and also do my PlayStation with. And I'm like, you know what? I'll get 2 of them, so that if the one on the computer fucks up, it doesn't affect my PlayStation one, and vice versa. And there I go. There's defeat number 1. And this is the point where I discover that, hey, when I separate from my enemies, and I get to, horse away, or whatever. But I could also horse into them and just fuck them up. You know what I mean? But anyway, while I was at Five Below, they had these little buckets that are on a post, for lack of a better term. They're just big buckets on a stick full of $5 shit. One of them had those, the other one had DVDs, and I'm looking in it. And when I say DVDs, they're Blu-rays, They are discs that I watch videos on that are not laser discs. So to me, they're DVDs. I don't care if they're Blu-rays, I don't care if they're 4K Digital Ultra, they're fucking DVDs. And they had Force Awakens and Last Jedi for $5, and I just got my stimulus, and I know I have some wiggle room on my money. I'm like, fuck it. And I bought them both, and much to my delight, they're full on. This isn't just, hey, this is a DVD or a Blu-ray in a box, and you have it. No, this motherfucker has the special features and everything, so I have the movie. I think I mentioned before, I also bought the Hobbit / Lord of the Rings trilogies in standard format. Not the director's cut, which makes me sad, but $20, man. 6 long-ass movies for $20. I'm not gonna fucking snort at that, especially when originally each one was $25. You know what I mean? Someday I hope to get the director's cuts, but until then. I also got the final Tremors movie, the one I haven't seen, Shrieker Island. I had the opportunity to get the 7-pack. I have the Tremors 6-pack already. I opted not to because I'm unemployed. If I'd had a job, knowing that, hey, I'm going to get paid again in 2 weeks, I'd have got it. Because it was I don't know, $10 more. But that $10 is $10 I can't replace at the moment, so. I'm not... No, Rio, I want you off the desk, sweetie. I'm not, at the moment, super obsessed with the financial situation. Simply because as soon as my final check comes in on the 7th, which should be about $400 to $500, depending on if Walmart added anything to it. That was just what I had at last count. That will be enough, plus what my stimulus is right now, to just chunk my rent. My rent will be paid, the vet bill's already paid, my phone bill's paid, my big-ass bills are all paid for the month. So I have the entire month of January to start making money again. And if at any point I also get unemployment on top of that, I've got some wiggle room, you know. No, I'm not planning to live off unemployment. I just need some buffer. I needed some time to get caught up on hobbies and chores and just general shit that I never got at Walmart because I never saved up my PTO, because something would come up, like either I would legitimately get sick and have to call out, or my bike would break down and I'd have to call out. I swear, I lost at least 7 days worth of PTO just to that fucking bike. You know? Because it broke and Robert couldn't come get me or something. So, anyway. That happened. So, yeah, I have those. Have Tremors. I also got 2 other movies. Hellfest, which I saw in theaters. It's a good movie, but I got it for like $5, so no biggie. And I think it's got some special features. And The Never-Ending Story for $3.75. It turns out it actually has a special feature or 2 on it, which is impressive given that that wasn't a thing when that movie came out. So, and I wasn't expecting it. I figured for $3, for $4, I can have just the movie, but it comes a little extra, so that's cool. So yeah, next TWiK, expect a summary of Deep Blue Sea 1, 2, 3, because I'll have watched it by then. I actually have to make some food soon. The good news is I gave myself quite a bit of food when I left Walmart the last time. Like, I've still got 3 boxes of family-sized Kraft macaroni and cheese. That's a day's worth of food. 2 more fixins of macaroni and tuna, which is anywhere from 2 to 4 days worth of food, depending on how I stretch it. A box of ramen, so that's 4 meals right there. If I eat 3, or 3 meals if I... No, it's 4 meals if I eat 3, 3 meals if I eat 4. And while I'm not likely to eat just 2... 6 meals, you know. Although I'll eat more meals that way. Like, I'll need to. Plus, stamps came in today. It's only 16, but allegedly they're going to give more just in general in January. Plus, I'm still waiting to see if there's a COVID buff to it. Still waiting to see if the Biden presidency will bring more stimulus and sooner. Like, 'cause I know that even Trump was pushing for $2,000 as a check as well. So we could see another 600, we could see 1,200, we could see $2,000. Either way, if I got another stimulus like that, that would give me another month of which to find a job. So yeah, I haven't. I'm going to. I promise I'm going to. I have to. You know, I can't sit on my ass and do nothing for too long. But I have at least bought myself the entire month of January. In a very literal sense, I've bought it. I actually have, due to watching HoloLive, actually, watching them play Dead by Daylight, I learned something about Dead by Daylight that I didn't realize. I had been under the mistaken impression that when you hook a survivor, their hook timer is directly dependent on their health, so that if you heal someone to full, which happens with alarming frequency, they're basically back up to full hook health, you know. It turns out, no matter what, 3rd hook, they're dead, instantly. So what I used to do is I would fucking camp the thing because I wanted to get at least one person killed. Well, now, I don't do that because I know better. So, basically, because I watch HoloLive, I am a more pleasant person to play Dead by Daylight against. That being said, I got to see something real cool, and I think it cost me this because my internet disconnected, because it does that from time to time. About once a day, the internet will just flick off for half a second. But I I have been maining Michael Myers, and I had a cool mirror thing that that makes it impossible to get to evil within level 2 or 3. And if I had unlimited amounts of that, I'd fucking use the shit out of it. Because it is my coolest thing. Basically, I don't get any of my special powers except for one. I can stalk, which lets me see people at a distance, which is good because I have lackluster eyesight. And anyway, I move slower while stalking, but while in Evil Within, I have no terror radius. So I just materialize out of the ether and just grab people, or just slash them. And throughout the entire game, nobody ever saw me coming. I can only imagine if they were on voice chat or whatever, they're screaming, "Fucking hacker!" or some shit. Because it had to have felt like that. Unless they are familiar with that particular power-up, they had to think I was cheating or some shit. Because killers are supposed to give off all sorts of signs that they're there. Like there's supposed to be a heartbeat from their terror radius. There's supposed to be like a little signal on the screen like, "Oh god, he's over here." Michael Myers doesn't have that in the first stage of his power, which goes to stage 2 and then bottoms out there. It won't go below stage 2 ever again. And then he'll go to stage 3 for a short period of time where he gets stronger and faster. And then he'll drop back to stage 2 unless you use a different item which gives him unlimited stage 3. And so yeah, there are some serious advantages to going to stage 1 or staying at stage 1, Michael. And I almost won too. I was one person shy of winning because they couldn't fucking find me, you know. Meanwhile, they literally lit up like beacons to me because I would stalk. And they just glow. And one guy basically got all the way to the exit, and I'm pretty sure he escaped, you know, but it was a lot of fun, and that's an item I'm going to be prioritizing for the rest of this game. That, I think it was like the cracked mirror or some shit. Top tier, would use again, absolutely. Play a little more of the forest. The problem with the forest is to really get the most out of it, you really need more people, because I just don't do enough. I'm very much a homebody in games like that. I want to stay in the lair and build shit. Well, I've run out of shit to build to an extent because stuff doesn't build quite the same. Meaning I don't have a way to make things neatly square. They just happen or they don't. You know, it's either a happy accident or a drunken mess. And the real problem is shit respawns. Like every day trees will grow back, and as I'm wandering getting rocks for my fucking 1,500 rock wall, yeah, I swear it had to have taken at least 1,000 rocks to make it. And you can only carry like 5 at a time. And the problem is, you never have to go more than 20 feet from where you are, and rocks will just spawn in randomly, whether they were there or not. So there's no reason to go looking for them. And I didn't build a lot of shit with logs, so the trees around me were plenty. There's plenty of ways to get sticks, plus sticks will spawn in. I mean, it's just... It's not great. It's good. It's good, but it's not great. It's more annoying than anything else that I can only carry 5 rocks. Oh, how about I make a rock bag? There's no rock bag. Also, you can only carry 10 sticks at a time. Oh, can I make a stick bag? Oh, of course, you can make a stick bag. And for logs, you can only carry those 2 at a time, so you can make a sled, but the sled won't go through the fucking doors, so it's just a bit of a logistical nightmare, and it's really designed, from the looks of things, to be played by at least 2 people. And I don't have any friends with a PS4 and games that I play, and it's not cross-platform with the PC or the Xbox, so yeah. Yeah, I've been playing that. Might do some more 7 Days to Die soon, or some Minecraft. I don't know. Star Trek Online's been going real well. I've likewise, just like I've been recording this in advance, I've been doing the same with STO. I think I'm about halfway through the Romulan missions for the Federation, for Starfleet. By Romulan missions, I don't mean Romulan character, I mean the Romulan campaign in the Federation. Because there's the Klingon campaign, the Romulan campaign, the Cardassian campaign, Borg, Undine, and then it just gets into the big shit with Iconians, the Zenkethi, the Voth, and finally the Herc. You know, I mean, there's bits and pieces here and there. And I'm in, like, the second campaign. I'm about halfway through. With my stimulus, I got a couple new things. I think with my check, my normal having money left over check, I got the Prometheus pack, which is the bundle with the tier 5 Prometheus that only kicks in when you're maxed out, or old school maxed out at level 50, you know. You're an admiral, like rear admiral or something, even though you get the Prometheus at level 40. So it's like, hey, you got to play for 10 levels, then you get this Prometheus that can multi-vector. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tier 6 Hestia class Prometheus, which doesn't multi-vector, but it's still a premium ship, and I can show it off. I thought about looking up for a tier 6 Saber, but there's only a tier 5, and I don't want it, you know. But I did get the Akira bundle with the bonus. The Akira bundle is I already have the Thunderchild, so I didn't get anything for that, but I got the Armitage and the Alita, I believe. Oh my god, that was the naming convention, because I'm like, oh, Armitage. The only Armitage I know was from Armitage 3. Oh, Alita, that brings Battle Angel to mind. Akira, they're fucking named after anime. I like it. Okay. Except for Thunderchild. Thunderchild was named after a specific Akira class. But yeah, I've got the tier 6 will allow me to use hangar shit, so I could show off hangar pets, Peregrine fighters in this case. And the last two things I got were the Titan class Science Destroyer, it's called. Which I just wanted it because the Titan, I saw it in Lower Decks, which is why we got it in the first place, because Lower Decks featured it, and they're like, well, the Titan's kind of back in vogue, so let's make a Titan. And so I have that, and more importantly, I got the Reliant class, the Tier 6 Miranda, which took way too fucking long to exist. Because that was like the one ship in the game where you didn't get anything for it. Like, you just, if you bought a premium ship, you weren't flying the Miranda class anymore, you know? So the plan is, when I do the Engineer, I'm just going to fly the Tier 6 Miranda and go from there, you know? So yeah, I bought those new ships. Other than that, I've just been getting, you know, task force reward or reputation rewards. Been stockpiling dilithium. I've already maxed out the event, the winter event. I did the winter event. I got the new Fakiri carrier, which isn't that much different than the old one I had, but fuck it. They're both even tier 6s, so it's not like one was a tier 5 and this one's a tier 6. So it's just which flavor do you want, or do you just want to put both modules on the same ship? I don't know. But I got it. So that means until the 7th, so we can get the internet back on, I'm just getting dilithium every day, and it's increasing. Like, I think I have 20,000 when I get to do it today, and then it'll be like 25 or 30, etc. This is the kind of time when I stockpile the fuck out of dilithium. So, yeah. What are you wuffing at? Oh, I see. Go on up, pup. You poor little dog. You poor baby. For those wondering at home, Maya likes to sit in the corner of my bed, and right now Oreo's there, and she's content to get up and sit in the middle of the end of the bed. But there was a bag in the way, and Betsy's on the other corner. She wanted on the bed, and there was no room for her, so I had to move the bag. I'm sorry, puppy. A little goofball, but I love her. She's my baby. So when I'm done recording this, I've got to get in and do some dumb shit involving the cable, because the internet, for whatever reason, has decided it doesn't work. Do. Give me a second, I'm yelling at someone on YouTube, because that's what I do. Yeah, it's more of the same. It's just shit that I'm used to. Basically, it's well known. Anyone who knows me, it is well known that I am feuding with the Star Wars fan base, and I just got another one of these things of like, you need to stop defending Rey. We don't like it. You know, that's basically the gist of it, and. No intelligent argument, nothing, just, we all say you're wrong, so you must be wrong, because there's never been a time in history where consensus was anything other than right. You know? I mean, that's why nobody's died of fucking coronavirus, right? Because so many people denied that, so nobody's died. Meanwhile, it tends to just disproportionately be the people who deny it who tend to die from the fucking thing. It's almost like not taking precautions against something gets you killed. But yeah, I basically told him, look, you don't know shit, and I do. And that's why, rather than actually refute something I've said, you basically go, no, you're wrong, and hope I go away. And that doesn't fucking work. Because I know my shit. I've spent over 20 years learning this shit. I put a lot of time and energy into learning this shit. And I know for a fact I'm fucking right. Because it's not even shit that's an opinion. It is literally stated fact in Star Wars that the shit they're saying is wrong. And I know this because I fucking did the research. So, no amount of them saying, no, you're wrong is going to change my fucking mind, because I know I'm right. I mean, this is like telling a NASCAR driver you're supposed to make right turns, not left turns. It's like, bitch, I've won events. I know what direction to turn. You know what I mean? And that's what this is. So anyway, once I, you know, put a pin in this recording and start getting it transferred over the computer to do the things I do with it, I will set about trying to see if the motherfucker, it never entered. See about fixing the cable. Not the cable, the internet, so that we can have internet, so that if nothing else, I can put this online, because it would be really fucking stupid if I went through all the trouble to get this shit done, and it didn't done, because of the internet. Not because of anything I did, but because the internet wasn't on. The problem with this is the roommate does not like dealing with shit like this. And he's like, well, you need to call her. I'm like, dude, it's not on a thing. He even set it up so that I could have my own password, but because I'm linked to an inactive account, they won't let me. Well, apparently our system's just fucked, according to the roommate. But yeah, he is trying to give me like password and shit to get in there, and I'm like, dude, it's not. I don't know the information they're going to be asking me, you know. I mean, all the fucking hoops he's jumping through to let me do it. It would be easier to just do it, you know. And it's not just the computer, because it's my phone, it's the PlayStation, etc. I'm gonna have to cook shortly. Getting hungry as crap. What the? Oh. Let's see, what the hell was that symbol? That symbol was the cable company. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun on STO. Starting to do different setups for things, like I'm getting different character designs, rather than just do what I had been doing, which was just use infinite amounts of, you know, level with you equipment. I have been, for my other characters, sending over like specific phasers and disruptors, whatever, and just using tech upgrades to upgrade them to match my level. So that's been useful. But yeah, I have all the shit I want to do for the tactical officer now. I'm not sure exactly what tier 6 ship I'll use. Wait, what do you mean connection lost? Was it connected for a minute? Huh, that's weird. I guess he must have reset the modem, because the PlayStation said Wi-Fi connection lost, and the Wi-Fi had been off. That's the problem. PlayStation tells me when the Wi-Fi goes off, but never when it comes back on. But yeah, anyway, like, for Tier 1, I use the NX. For Tier 2, it's a Saber class. For Tier 3, it'll be the Kira class. Tier 4 will be the Defiant. Tier 5 will be the Prometheus. But beyond that, I don't know what kind of ship I want to use. I've got lots of options. I've got, like, the Shran, which is an escort. I've got the Ryzian corvettes. I've got a couple other ships. I've got lots of Tier 6 ships in general that I can use, and a couple Tier 5s that are pretty good, too. And it's just a matter of deciding which one floats my boat. You know, I mean, I could even go back to, like, the Defiant, or the Hestia, or whatever. Or the Akira, just whatever jumps out and just grabs me, I can use. So, oh, jam. Let me take a taste on the computer here. See, now they're not showing up at all, which leads me to believe that he has reset the modem, because they were on there before, but that's because they were listed as connecting, etc. So I'll give it another 5-10 minutes. Hopefully this thing will sort itself out and I can get on with my day, because I want to play some Dead by Daylight, etc. I got to go on STO, get the dilithium while it's available, because it's only here till the 7th. So I have until Thursday to get another few rounds of dilithium to last me to the next event. And it won't, because I tend to chunk it all into Phoenix packs, because they're just these little things, and even the uncommons, which are the lowest tier, are still good, because I want an epic or an ultra rare, because that gives me a ship. but the rare, no, epic, or let's say mega rare, and then there's the ultra rare, which is purple, the rare, which is blue, and then the uncommon. Even if it's just one of those three where I've gotten all the gettable once things, because there's some stuff that you can only get once, like duty officers or special engines, etc., that kind of thing, and I've already gotten all those. But you can cash in the ultra rares for 2 rares per thing, and cash in the rares for 2 uncommons per thing, and each uncommon can be a tech upgrade that's really good. It can basically get my stuff to Mark 15 Epic, which is as powerful as it gets. I actually have my main ship, what is now my main ship, the Kittimer class battlecruiser, the AFS Princess, which is one of the default names. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll fly the Princess. But the Princess has just Mark 15 Epic anti-proton everything. So it's just all gold equipment. And it's really, really powerful. There's very little that it can't take in a fight. I don't know if I did the shields and shit yet, but if I haven't, I'm gonna have to. But yeah, it's a really beefy little ship, and it can slug it out with just about anything and do just absurd amounts of damage in a very short amount of time. Plus, it has a very special photon torpedo. Not photon torpedo, a special torpedo that is anti-proton, like the weapons. So that means if I'm trying to do something where I'm getting a whole bunch of anti-proton damage, like for an Endeavor or something, it stacks up just that much faster. It's good shit. But I'm really having fun with this. This is a good system. I don't like this system enough to replace all of my Let's Plays with it, especially not the blind ones. But this is a good recording system, and I really like it. And I am going to use it for a lot of things like This Week in Kyrix, and a couple other games where I just want to do post-commentary for whatever reason, like Star Trek, or if I want to do post-commentary with Robert or something, which I might do as well. I'll probably think of some sort of game, because I have close to 200 games, and that's just the shit between what I've bought and what I have on PlayStation Plus. That doesn't even count the PS Now games that are downloadable that I have, which ironically this is one of. Speaking of ironic, one of this month's PlayStation Plus games is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is the one I was working on, the one I rented from Gamefly. So that's cool, which means I'm going to be returning the one I rented from Gamefly soon and swapping it out for something else. Let me check the internet real quick. Oh, there we go. Does it work? Connect automatically. Still no internet, huh? Why is there still no internet? Nope, still nothing. So yeah, I just have no internet today. I'm just watching shit on my phone for the day if I watch shit. Or I'll just watch The Hobbit. Or one of my other 117 DVDs that I bought past year and never looked at. Because I'm a very wasteful spender. I really am. But yeah, this... I wouldn't replace a lot of my Let's Plays with this format. There are a couple I would, but none of the blind runs, obviously. But what I might do is I might look into one of the Kingdom Hearts games, because I have the collection, and I'm saying games in quote marks here. One of the Kingdom Hearts games is actually a movie that has a runtime of longer than an hour. And if it'll let me record it with commentary, I might have to split it up into chapters and just kind of do the stop record thing. I gotta see if it'll let me pause. I'm basically gonna mute it, watch the first 5 minutes, see if it'll let me jigger around with things like pause and whatnot, and if it does, then I'll do that. It is actually the biggest thing, aside from length, that has stopped me from doing the Kingdom Hearts Let's Play. Is because that first thing, because it's the first thing and I have to do it, because apparently it's chronologically the first thing that happens in the story. And I gotta do the thing. But yeah, I want to do just the whole Kingdom Hearts collection all the way up to 3. Keeping in mind that I've only ever played 1. I've beaten 1, played all the way to the final boss of 2. I don't remember what stopped me from beating it. I think I just ran into a brick wall on it, and then either had to return the game, or the rental ran out, or some shit. Or maybe I just lost interest, because that happens too. Because I might have owned that one. I don't know. But I own it now. And I've seen a little bit of... I want to say Birth by Sleep, but I don't fucking know. It's... whatever it is, it's the one where you play as the 3 different characters. You know, you keep switching between characters or something. Or maybe you do the story of each character differently. Because Star did that on one of her streams, and I saw bits and pieces. I didn't really pay much attention. I know very little of it, so I'm not going to be super spoiled on it. But it's a fun series, and I want to explore it on my channel, because I can get a fuckload of content out of it, for one thing. Yeah. So there's that to look forward to. I've also got Ni no Kuni 1 and 2. Now, years ago. Fuck, back when I still had the Fingerhut account, so this is 2014 at the latest. I was recording Ni no Kuni on the PS3, because I own it, and something stopped me. Well, it was one of those eras where I was recording like 30 different things at a time. And I just got caught up in a different game for so long that I forgot how to play, and then I meant to watch my old videos, and I never got back into it. So it's a blind run, so I'm basically going to go back into it blind at some point, just set aside some time, fucking knock that game out of the park, and then go on to the sequel. Because what I had played of it was really charming, and I really enjoyed it, and I meant to get back into it, and I never did. And part of the reason is because I want to partake in shit. Like, when I play a new game, I want to watch, like, Yahtzee's zero punctuation of the game, but I really can't, because it's full of spoilers. Or I want to watch people's Let's Plays of it, like I'm pretty sure NCS did Ni no Kuni. And I want to watch that. And honestly, I don't watch nearly as much Nintendo Capri Sun as I should. Because he's very good, and I should watch more. Of course, I haven't really watched a lot of Chugga or Proton John yet, either. Because I go through cycles where I'll watch a Let's Player every fucking day, and then I just drop off the map for like a year, you know? And then I just go through their backlog again. And I wish Lucagen would do more commercial streams, because fuck, if you told me when I was a kid one of my hobbies in my late 30s would be watching commercials that I was skipping ahead of now, I'd have fucking called you crazy. But it's what I do. It's just I remember these commercials, and they just hit me in the nostalgia balls. Which, me and Robert had a big old argument about nostalgia yesterday, but that's neither here nor there, and I don't have the time to tell it anyway, because I'm near the end of this video. And yeah, here's me at the end. I remember what I did. The original plan was not to get anyone, and then I started building an army anyway. And I just got this one Forest Bandit recruited so that I could name all the categories. Oh, that's fascinating! I never knew that! I've never watched this through before. You can't see what I'm typing. I didn't realize that was a fucking thing. That's pretty cool. I think at some point I actually... Oh, no, never mind. I was about to say, I think at some point I go through and rename everything again, but I don't. But yeah, that's kind of cool that you don't see me naming shit. I never realized that wouldn't pop up on video, and this is the first time I've ever watched me try to name something in This Week in Kyrix, so... learn something every day. Oh, speaking of which, last minute plug, there's a company, and they have a YouTube channel called Boston Dynamics. They do fun shit with robots. They make robots. Their robots dance, and it is awesome. Look up Boston Dynamics. Do you love me? Just trust me on this. You'll have a good time. I am absolutely mesmerized by how far robotics technology has come. It is about 8 years ahead of where I thought we were, and I try to follow this shit too. That was genuinely astounding. So, Happy New Year, everybody. This has been Kyrix. See you next time. Bye-bye.